Hello everyone, welcome to the Melonly CAD series. This will be going over the police, dispatch, fire, DOT, and EMS panels. So we're going to start with the police panel. I'm going to show you top down everything you can do. So the first page we have is the calls page. So we'll go to the active calls. Actually, let's make a pending call. No, we can say active calls. And we have our call right here. So we can add a note to the call. We can add a timer for the call. We can submit tone boards to people participating in the call. We can send a lookup to people participating in the call, and then send records. And I can also view the call right here. So this will show me all the information about the call. So, for example, if I want to lock this, I can put this in the bottom right, and I can lock it. And there we go. And now the call will stay there while I deal with it. So let's click Join Call.
Respond Priority 1, Animal Bite.
So our text-to-speech engine just gave us a little bit of a preview about the call. So I'm actually going to delete this now because we have the main call view. But this is the center of the call panel where you do everything. So we have automations. These automations are different status codes depending on what you are doing in the call. So if you just got assigned the call, we show you en route. If you're unassigned, we show you available. If the call is closed, you're also shown available. And if you're writing a report, it shows you as busy. These are customizable, and what I will say is that we might move this in the future because we don't really see a reason for automations to be here the whole time. And if that is moved, that will be indicated in the comment section below. Then when we self clear, so self clear will remove myself from the call if I can speak. And then this is where I create calls on my own. I will say servers can disable this, and if this is disabled, then you can ask your admins why. Most of the time, it probably just means they have a very reliable dispatch service. Now, if we look on the top bar, we have our status button. So we have available, unavailable, busy, en route, and on scene. So we change this, change it to our status. And then we have our quick traffic stop. So let's enter a plate. And then search. I can click on that.
Call assigned, traffic stop, ABC 123.
And now I have a call with this traffic stop that I initiated. So I can edit it. If I turn on self-dispatch, I can edit the call as I wish. I'm going to close that now. And now I'm unassigned from the call. And now if we go on the live map page, so when there are people join your server, they'll appear here. So let me actually join the server real quick, and I'll cut to when I've joined the server. Okay, so I've joined the game now, and you can see that I'm in Independence Parkway right here. And if I had my body cam on, it would show view body cam. And you can do that for any unit of your server. If you're a supervisor or a dispatcher, you can view anyone. That's basically all with the live map. You can pin things on the live map to mark future locations. This is client side and does not send to other units. Now on the active units page, we have our active units here. We can remove columns as we wish. And we can drag people to make groups. Now I'm in a group, and I can disband the group. And now moving on from the quick traffic stop, we have our panning button.
Panic Unit 2R459, unknown location.
And there was our panic. We have our managing unit. You can edit your unit. And this is pretty standard. You enter your agency and your subdivision if they have one. So I'm not part of traffic services in RCPD, so I'm just going to select nothing. And then we have our abilities right here. These are also sometimes defined by the server owners themselves, so it will autofill this information. Okay, now moving on to the bottom. We have our menu. Where we have leave, switch panel, and then preferences. If we go on preferences, it will give us options to stop all sounds. So if there's a sound playing, for example, the panic, that stop the sound.
Panic Unit 2R459.
The text-to-speech will still play, but the panic will not anymore. So let's disengage that. And then we have our text-to-speech voice. So if we do female, and I can demonstrate that by joining a call.
Respond Priority 1, Animal Bite.
There's the female voice. So I'm going to keep it on male because I prefer that one, but you can change it as you wish. And then we have we have call notifications. So this is an auto notification for every single time a note is added to a call. So to demonstrate what a note is, I'll join the call again.
Respond Priority 1, Animal Bite.
And we have all of our notes right here. So we can do like that. We can also attach records. So if we want to look up a record, I can attach that. And then when I click on that, the record opens, and anyone can do this. Okay, scrolling down to body cam, we have our body cam initiated sound. So this is what plays when the body cam is initiated. So for an example, we will do share. That's the sound that's played. And then we have our keybind. So available, unavailable. So if I do Control A, I'm available, unavailable, and then the panic.
Panic
And then
unit
I'll wait for this to be
2459,
done.
unknown location.
And then if you're done, if you're using the Melonly app, these are global. As every keybind here is global if you're using the app. And then we have our input device for the radio. So if I join a radio, it's using default, which is my external microphone, which is my headset. So we'll do some of these, and I'll open it back up. Okay, so now we have a radio tone, so key down, the key that plays when you do this. And then you also heard the key up. We have talk over block, so when someone else is talking, it will play the talk over block sound. We have the join sound, which you heard right here. Leave, right there. And then mute. Unmute. Deafen. Undeafen. And those are all the preferences that you can configure right now. Alright, let's move down to activity. This is where you start and end your shift. So if I end my shift, these are departments. I have to end a shift to do another one, so I'll end it. And here's my shift report. I can fill out my form that the server has configured right here. So I can enable, or so I can enter what I did on my shift today. And let me close that. And then we have enter full screen, which enters the window into full screen, then exit full screen, which exits it from full screen. And then here we have feedback for the CAD. So we do read this very often, so you can either use suggestions or the feedback form to give us feedback on the CAD. And then our dispatch tools, we don't have to worry about these until the dispatch panel. And then information, we have penal codes and 10 codes. We don't have any 10 codes configured, but normally they'd appear in a table down right here. And then we have our penal codes. This just goes over all the laws of our server, and these are configurable by server admins. And so if you forget the penal codes, for example, I'm going to close this, or 10 codes, sorry, and you're on the home page, you can just, or any page, frankly, you can just make it smaller, and then lock it. And the 10 codes will always be there. I can scroll and interface with it like how I would before. Alright, and then we have our notepad, so we do notes here. When I close this and reopen it, those will persist. Test note, and this is just if you want to note down any information about cars you're monitoring, for example. And then we have lookup, so we'll actually just go to these. So if we're looking at, we can look up information by different types of vehicles. So I can do, I don't think we have any license numbers, but we can do vehicles, autocomplete it, and then we have police records and vehicles for vehicle registrations. So we actually have a citation for this vehicle. Failure to stop at a stop sign. And then we have our vehicle right here. So this is just the information about the vehicle. Cool. And then we have name. So we can do, I think we have a John in the server. We have multiple Johns. And if you want to add a last name, you can just click last name and it will add that to the search. And we can click on any one of these and it will show the information about them. As you can see. And then onto the records page, we can make a new record. So we can make a vehicle citation. And then if we want to, as you can see, we're marked as busy now because we're entering a record. So we can search up a civilian, then autofill their information here. Their information is autofilled here. We don't have a residence or contact number for them. And then license. Looks like we don't have. We have one for Paul. And that autofills their license number. Paul also has a vehicle, nice. And then there's their vehicle information. And we can add charges. So this UI will change. This is not final. This UI isn't very good. So yeah, this will be changed. And then we can easily just add things and it will autofill all the information. And then I'm missing some required information, so I'm not going to submit this. Actually, maybe I can. Yeah, so now we have a vehicle citation, I think it was, for them. So if I search up John vehicle. Yeah, we have the vehicle citation that we filled out right here. And, yeah. And it reverted my unit status back to unseen because that's what it was before. And then we can get a call. So I believe we have a call 1. Yep, and then it autofills all the information here, as you can see. And then we have a supervisor center. So these are for things that require supervisor signature. So I can provide my signature here. And then there we go, it's no longer there. Alright, and then we can just move on. So I think we've already covered body cam and radio. So yeah, let's just... Oh, some other card control. So we have detaching. So you can attach a full card and shove it somewhere else if you want to view this on a different page, then reattach it. We can also show off window snapping, so we can snap the window like so. And then there's window snapping. You can double click to minimize, to maximize. You can lock them as I showed earlier, as you can see. And then we'll move on to the EMS page next, which we don't have much more to go over. So actually we just won't go over this at all. Basically every single page from the police panel down is a replica, except we are going to add rapid IQ support to the EMS and fire pages, and if that is added, that will be in a comment in the comment section below. Alright, and then we can move on to civilian is gone over in the first video, so we won't go over that right now. And the DOT, so DOT does not have a live map, just because this is not meant for a live map, but if we will add a live map again in the comment section below, I know we're internally debating it as a team if we're going to add a live map or not. And then dispatch. This is the dispatch panel, so this is all of your units. Unfortunately, I don't have a police unit on right now, so let me get one on real quick. Okay, now I have a police unit on, as you can see, so I can drag them onto calls, and then give them a call, like so. And then they're going to be given that call, and they're going to respond to it, hopefully. You can add notes. And you can also, if we go to the active call, this was an abandoned vehicle, I can send a lookup to everyone in that call. So every single person on this call will get this, and I can also add more specific things if I want to add different people to send it to. And then we have our groups, so if we want to manage our groups better, so like for example, if there's someone in a ride-along, I can select both of them. I have a dispatcher, so I'm not going to do that. And I can drag them over there and add a group. And now there they are in their group. I can click on this to expand it and click to disband the group. I can also toggle panics for units. And we can see that they're now panicked. So we'll disable that now. We also have automations. We should probably remove these for dispatchers because you can't get assigned a call to dispatcher. So these will be removed by the time we see this video. Then we have our unavailable, busy, and available tags right there. We can also selectively dispatch. So we can selectively dispatch the EMS, which there's no units on it, or specific agencies. We also have the same body cam controls, so if there's a dispatcher that wants to view body cam, they can do that there. I will demonstrate that right now. So I've just started a body cam stream on my other unit, so I can click on them, view body cam. And now I'm viewing their body cam, as you can see right here. And then we'll go over the dispatch controls now. So we have our tone board, so we can send tones to people. And these are defined in the custom sounds in the admin panel. That is in the customization tab. And then for signal managers, once I enter a signal here, it will appear in a red bar at the top of the page. I'm not going to do that right now because I want to keep moving on, but we have all of our panels here in agencies. And then when I enter a signal, it will appear in a red bar and text-to-speech will start playing. Alright, and then timers. I can create a timer. I can make it 0 seconds, or 1 second, sorry. And now the timer's going off. And now we'll stop the timer because it's annoying. And then we will keep moving on. We have the live map. So here's our live map of every single person in the game. There's going to be no one right now because no one's in the game because this is a test server. But when there is someone in the game, when you click on them, you'll see all the controls that you see on this. So you'll see every single thing that you see here on that. And then we went over this earlier, the notepad, the lookup, and the records. And I believe that's everything. So thank you for watching this tutorial on the panels of the Melonly CAD. If I missed anything, I will put it in the comments below and attach a different video, but I don't believe I did. And I really hope you enjoy using this project as much as we enjoyed making it. Thank you.